Hello, friend. Welcome to History ZZZ. We are glad you are here. Get comfortable. Let your breathing slow. If your eyes grow heavy, let them close. We will keep talking. Tonight, we are going somewhere older than you can imagine. Older than Egypt, older than Babylon, older than the oldest story you have ever been told. Tonight, we visit the hill that should not exist. This is the mystery of Göbekli Tepe. In the autumn of 1994, a Kurdish shepherd was walking his flock across a dry hillside in southeastern Turkey, not far from the city of Şanlıurfa. The hill was called Potbelly Hill, Göbekli Tepe in Turkish. It was unremarkable, rocky, brown, the kind of hill you walk past 1,000 times without thinking anything of it. But the shepherd noticed something strange sticking out of the ground. A stone, too flat, too deliberate, too perfectly shaped to be natural. He told the local museum. A German archaeologist named Klaus Schmidt came to look. Schmidt took one look at the stone and said something that would change everything. He said, "This is not a grave, this is not a house, this is a temple." And then he started to dig. What Schmidt found beneath the surface of Potbelly Hill defied everything archaeology thought it knew about human history. Carved limestone pillars, dozens of them, some standing nearly 6 meters tall and weighing up to 50 tons, arranged in precise circles, carved with extraordinary skill. Foxes, boars, cranes, vultures, scorpions, and serpents, rendered in high relief on stone with breathtaking detail. The dating came back and sent shockwaves through the academic world. 12,000 years old. To understand what that means, consider this. The Great Pyramid of Giza was built 4,500 years ago. Göbekli Tepe is 12,000 years old. It is more than twice as old as the pyramids. It is older than writing, older than pottery, older than the plow. According to everything we thought we knew, the people who built this should not have been capable of building this. The world 12,000 years ago was the end of the last ice age. Glaciers were retreating, sea levels were rising. The climate was shifting in ways that reshaped every continent. And human beings, according to the history books, were simple. Hunter-gatherers, small nomadic bands following animals across the landscape. No permanent settlements, no organized religion, no monumental architecture. They were survivors, brilliant survivors, but survivors nonetheless. They did not build temples. They did not organize thousands of workers to quarry and transport 50-ton stones. They did not create intricate iconographic programs in carved relief across dozens of pillars, except someone did. Someone at Göbekli Tepe did all of those things 12,000 years ago, before any of it was supposed to be possible. Let that settle over you as your body grows heavier. The T-shaped pillars are the heart of the mystery. They are enormous. Some weigh 50 tons. The tallest stand nearly 6 meters. They are shaped, unmistakably, deliberately shaped, to look like stylized human figures. The T at the top is a head. Arms are sometimes carved along the sides. Belts, hands, fingers. These are not abstract monuments. These are beings. Who are they? Gods, ancestors, something else entirely. The carvings on their bodies tell stories we cannot read. Vultures carrying away the heads of the dead, serpents coiling endlessly around the edges of the stone, a man standing above headless bodies. Handbags, yes, handbags, the same symbol that appears in ancient Mesopotamia, ancient Mexico, and ancient Egypt, held in carved stone hands. The same symbol, on multiple continents, thousands of years apart. No one can explain that. The quarry where the stones were cut is only a few hundred meters from the site. There, half-finished pillars still lie in the rock, abandoned mid-carve. One of them, the largest ever found, is over 7 meters long and weighs an estimated 50 tons. It was never moved. It was never finished. Something interrupted the work and it was simply left there. The tools they used were flint, hard flint scrapers and chisels, the kind hunter-gatherers carried everywhere. There were no metal tools, no pulleys, no wheels, and yet the precision of the carving is extraordinary. The geometry of the circles is precise. The scale of the project is staggering. Archaeologists estimate it took hundreds of workers, sustained over decades, to build even one of Göbekli Tepe's enclosures, which means feeding hundreds of workers, housing them, organizing them, which means a level of social complexity that should not have existed yet. Unless it did. Unless our timeline is wrong. Klaus Schmidt worked at Göbekli Tepe for over 20 years. He died in 2014, still excavating, still puzzling. In all that time, they uncovered only about 5% of the site. Ground-penetrating radar has revealed the rest. At least 20 more circles buried beneath the hill, waiting. The total number of T-pillars is estimated at around 200. Most of them we have not seen. Most of the carvings are still underground. What else is down there? Schmidt had a theory. He believed Göbekli Tepe was not a settlement. No hearths, no cooking areas, no houses, no signs of permanent habitation. He believed it was a pilgrimage site, a place people came to from great distances for reasons we can only guess, to stand among the great stone beings and participate in rituals we will never fully understand. A temple, the oldest temple on earth, and someone buried it. Someone filled it in deliberately, covering everything in sand and rubble, and then walked away forever. Why was it buried? This is the question that keeps archaeologists awake at night. The burial was deliberate, careful. The site was filled in with clean rubble, stone chips, animal bones, flint tools, packed in systematically. This was not neglect. This was not a flood. This was an intentional act carried out by people who knew exactly what they were doing. They built the most extraordinary structure in the ancient world, and then they hid it. They buried it so thoroughly that it stayed hidden for 10,000 years. Some researchers think it was a ritual burial. The site had served its purpose and was being ceremonially retired. Some think the builders were responding to a catastrophe, the Younger Dryas impact event, a cosmic collision 12,000 years ago that may have caused worldwide flooding and the collapse of a civilization we have yet to identify. Some think the answers are still underground. Breathe slowly. Let the question float in your mind, weightless. The Younger Dryas. Around 12,800 years ago, something happened to the Earth. Temperatures plummeted in a matter of decades. Glaciers that had been retreating began to advance again. Massive animals went extinct almost overnight. Mammoths, giant sloths, the horses of North America, the lions of Europe. A layer of sediment from this period, found on multiple continents, contains nanodiamonds and platinum, the signatures of a cosmic impact. Something hit the Earth, or exploded in the atmosphere above it. Something large enough to cause global climate chaos, widespread fires, and possibly a great flood. Göbekli Tepe was built right at the boundary of this event. Some researchers believe the carvings on the pillars record it, a comet impact encoded in stone by people who watched the sky fall and wanted to make sure someone, someday, would remember. They were right. We are remembering now, 12,000 years later, lying in the dark, almost asleep. There is a theory, not mainstream but not dismissed, that Göbekli Tepe is evidence of a lost civilization. Not aliens, not magic, simply people who were more sophisticated than we give them credit for. People who built complex societies before the last ice age ended. People who watched their world end, the glaciers, the floods, the impacts, and who encoded their knowledge in stone before it was lost forever. The mainstream view is more conservative. Hunter-gatherers were more capable than we assumed, and religion, the need to gather, to worship, to mark the cosmos, came before agriculture, not after. The temple came first, then the farm, then the city, then us. Which means everything we think we know about how civilization began may be wrong. The story starts earlier than we thought. The story starts on a hilltop in Turkey, with a shepherd and a stone and a question no one has answered yet. The hill is quiet now. A protective roof has been built over the excavations, modern steel and fabric hovering above stones that were already ancient when the first pharaoh took the throne of Egypt. Tourists come and stand among the pillars and feel something they cannot name. A kind of vertigo, the recognition of deep time. The understanding that the story of humanity is so much longer and stranger than any history book can contain. 95% of the site is still underground. The answers, if they are there, are still waiting. Patient, silent, as they have been for 12,000 years. There is no rush. The stones are not going anywhere. Let your body sink into where you are resting. Feel the weight of sleep beginning at the edges of your thoughts. Somewhere in southeastern Turkey, on a dry brown hill that shepherds have walked for 10,000 years without knowing what lay beneath their feet, the great stone beings are standing in their circles. They have been standing for 12,000 years. They stood through the Ice Age and the Flood and the rise and fall of every empire that came after. They stood while Egypt rose and fell, while Rome rose and fell, while every civilization that called itself eternal turned to dust and was forgotten. They are still standing, and no one knows why. Sleep now. The mystery will still be here in the morning. It has waited 12,000 years. It can wait a little longer. Until next time, sleep well from History ZZZ.